We're back again for episode 2. And I may embarrass myself on this one because, God, it's probably been 20 years since I played Rad Racer. But we are here to ask the question, did Sega do it better? Actually, no, we're not. We're not here to ask. Why did I say that? I'm so used to seeing all these YouTubers forming everything in the form of a question when they know good and damn well the answer. Just say what you mean. Sega did it better. That's what we're here to say. I'm not here to ask the question. We're here to claim it outright. They did it better. Maybe not in every instance, but I'm pretty sure in this one they did. Let's play. And don't laugh. I'm not good at Rad Racer. We are joined by Trident on this special Halloween edition of Sega Did It Better. Welcome, Trident, to our stream. Getting a late start tonight. Of course, yes, as you stated, it's Halloween. Had to take Molly out and do some trick-or-treating, check out the neighborhood, go down a haunted trail, get chased through the woods by Michael Myers and Pennywise the Clown. And now we're home. Oh, Jesus. So, you know, I will honestly say that it never occurred to me that Rad Racer was actually put out by Square. And who actually did this friggin' game. Never occurred to me. As a direct competitor for OutRun. And you know, if you read Wikipedia, you gotta kind of take that with a grain of salt, but they claim it obviously did not do as good as OutRun. Now, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know many people that didn't have Rad Racer, and I know my experiences are limited to our little rednecky southern part of the world we live in here. But again, I didn't know anyone that didn't have Rad Racer. Everybody had Rad Racer. Common as a cold. Everybody had this game. So whether or not it's a better game or not, it definitely sold. And I would wager to say it sold more copies. OutRun was a success because it was in the arcade. And while you may have seen this game on some Play Choice cabinets or something, I don't remember any coin-op, honest-to-God, just dedicated Rad Racer machines. There's also the whole thing about whether or not the white Formula 1 car is better than the... Oh, did I get an extension? Is better than the red car. They swear there's no difference, but it says on there that people have disagreed on that. But as far as we know, there's no difference. And as much as I suck, there certainly won't be a visible one. Now, just because Sega did it better, that doesn't mean this is a bad game. Obviously, for it to sell so many copies, it had to do something right. But there weren't many racing options on the NES. There ended up being, but Sega's always had some pretty big names when it came to racing, and not just OutRun. God, Virtua Racing was a big deal. Damn, God, I had another one now, and I can't think of what I was going to say. Oh, Super Monaco GP. Yeah. Big time, dude. Big timing. Mario Andretti. Who Farted Racing. But we had to do a part 2 of this because we've got to give Rad Racer its day in court. You tap a car and you just slide completely off the road. The smoke underneath the car there, they were definitely going for a direct rip on OutRun. That's exactly what happens on it. And this, of course, graphically does not look as good. It doesn't have the riveting soundtrack. What it does have is really cool sound, though. And I'm biased in saying that because it's in the eye of the beholder, obviously. Or the ear, if you will. It brings back memories. That's why I think it's so great. Ah, I was almost there, dadgummit. And oh my god, what are we doing here? Of course, there was a 3D mode. As you know, OutRun had a 3D counterpart. Sega had the 3D glasses. Apparently the Famicom had like a 3D helmet you could buy. Nobody had that shit here in the States, to my knowledge. That was not something we got. But Rad Racer had the capability built in, I guess. I bet Rad Racer 3D would be badass. Ooh, see, you go way off that road way too fast. I'm not using my turbo enough, but I can barely race at the speed that I'm going, because I suck. Shit! Joined by Jason Rotbergs, welcome to our part 2 of Sega Did It Better. Playing some Rad Racer. We're done tricking and treating, and now we're playing and eating. Yeah, that rhymes. That'll work. Dude, I'm turboing, alright? I'm going past this guy. Dude! I am far from a Rad Racer. Shit! There goes my game. I bet you I was right at the checkpoint, too. I was. Look at that. Dadgummit. Sucking. I want to race the other car. I don't remember being given an option to pick. It's funny how it's dead silent in the demo. Alright, I guess we're racing. Now, I'm sure anybody that streamed tonight probably tried to do a scary game of some kind. I don't know, the horror genre's never really done anything for me. And even 8 and 16-bit games with scary themes, I don't know. That's a little too predictable. We got to get some of these series seen too. I'm behind on all these things that we've started, and we've got to just keep trucking along. So this is what was scheduled for this week. We're right on the cusp of Call of Duty coming out. And I've been really on the fence about World War II, but looks like I'm not going to end up paying for my copy, so whatever. Now it makes lack of business sense not to go ahead and pick it up. Using that magic. What I'm most interested in for this stream, you know, I don't get to just come in here and say Sega did it better. There's probably a lot of people that don't think that. And whether their opinions be based on being a fanboy or whatever the hell, they've got a right to think that, and maybe they have some good points to make. And I hope that they're either going to be in the stream and make them tonight, or that you're going to watch the recap, that you're going to come in the comments later on, that you're going to tell me exactly why you think Rad Racer outdoes OutRun in any way, even if it's only in one aspect, because these are all things we got to look at. most of us collectors have the option to play both. And, you know, there may be things you get from one that you don't get from the other. Now, one thing OutRun definitely has overall, and, you know, just not talking about Rad Racer and OutRun originally, is their lineage. Now, OutRun spawned a lot more games than Rad Racer did. Rad Racer eventually had the sequel that was apparently not very well received, and that completely makes sense, because that is not a game I remember going to people's houses and playing. And again, you can take what you read online with a grain of salt. Most of these people doing these write-ups, Wikipedia, all this crap, they weren't even there for these games. These people, I was playing games when their dads were shitting yellow. But, you know, I can tell you, I was around back then. I don't remember nobody having no Rad Racer 2. I've always had Rad Racer 2. It's been on my shelf in a sleeve with a manual as long as I can remember. I have never played it. We're going to play it tonight, because we checked out a couple different versions of OutRun. I would be interested at this point to know in what way Rad Racer 2 is inferior to this. I don't really see how it could be. I mean, this is very much a black box game, graphically and sound-wise, and for that it's great, you know. We love it for that, nostalgia-wise, but as far as to scale and, you know, as far as bragging rights, true scoring of the game, it's definitely not as good of a product as OutRun. The handling's very similar, but it is much harder to keep this car on the road. I mean, the road's just gone. It just slides right out from under you. And you have that problem in OutRun sometimes, too. Come on with it now. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, you bastard. Shit. Welcome, Gaming Rock 673, to our Tuesday night live stream. Sega Did It Better, OutRun versus Rad Racer. Tell us what you think. Jason Rotberg says he is not getting the new Call of Duty. I feel like I'm alone on it, honestly. I mean, as far as having questions as to whether or not it's worth a crap. I mean, everybody is just on this game's de-onk on the freaking internet, and I'm just not seeing it. Not seeing it. I see worse graphics. I see a game in such bad need of a new graphics engine. It's pathetic. There we go. I missed the change at that, so I want to try this car out. I don't like the guns. I think the menus are very dull and drab, and I understand that's probably what they went for. But it's not even appealing to look at. It's just not. I'm not excited for this like I would normally be. There's a lack of authenticity in the way everything looks. And that's the only reason to do a game like this. So, I don't know. I mean, I think World at War is going to end up having been the better World War Call of Duty. And this doesn't really look that much better than it. They've needed a new graphics engine since these games went next gen. And it hasn't happened. We're joined by Jason Joseph. Welcome, Jason, to our Tuesday night live stream of Sega Did It Better, OutRun versus Rad Racer. Or did they? I don't know. It's not like this isn't fun. I love racing games like this. I should just say, I'm not trying to piss on Rad Racer or anything. want to have a little fun with this series and show that even though Sega was always, behind and not the lead dog, they were putting out top-notch stuff. But I loved games like this. I loved going to a damn Showbiz Pizza and playing some pole position where you could actually get in the car. I suck at this game. You get little or no warning on those turns, buddy. "3D glasses world order." I need a set of the Sega 3D glasses. I've got like all the 3D games except Blade Eagle. I don't think I have Blade Eagle 3D. I might. I don't know. I need to look. But I need those 3D glasses. I never had them as a kid, and therefore I don't have them now. Because the Sega stuff I had, most of it, is stuff I had when I was like 7. And for the next few years, I guess until I was probably about Molly's age, I was getting Sega games for Christmas and birthdays. Then the Genesis come out, and then that's what we were asking for. Man, I suck.com on that, dude. I can't even get off the first level. I need to see a professional play this. It's obviously not me. Now, in my defense, I haven't played this game in 20 years, but that's really no excuse. These games, they're all the same. It's the same principle. A turn's coming, you better brake. There's no way to tell how sharp the turn is going to be either, because you can turbo through some of them, and some of them you can't even turn on just going a normal speed. It's really bizarre. See, look how quick I ran out of road there. And you got to brake so hard you all but stop. But, I love this game. I loved OutRun. I love pole position. I love World Grand Prix on the Sega. I love Final Lap Twin on TurboGrafx. I mean, games like this are fun. And they're so challenging. And they'll make you madder than a wet hen, too. But I'm trying to do turbo, and there's a car in every fucking lane. Give me a break, dude. Break one off in my frickin' shit chute. Interesting fact about Jason Joseph, I think he holds the world speedrun title on Karate Kid, but it's not official because I don't think he's ever competed. But he'll take Karate Kid out in minutes. You'll be seeing Miyagi wink before you can wink. Interesting fact there. I couldn't find my ass with both hands in a game with a Karate Kid. I suck. You gotta build up drum punches and crane kicks and all this shit. Ain't nobody got time for that. So if you haven't tuned in to any of the live streams we've done so far this past weekend, unless you're living under a rock, you already know Mario Odyssey is an absolute frickin' triumph, modern marvel of Nintendo, outlandish unworldliness, just ungodly, unfathomably amazing. But what you might not know, because there's too many people being skeptics about it and being complaining nerds about it, Assassin's Creed Origins is really cool. I mean, what a raw and brutal world with awesome combat, killer crafting, killer hunting with your bird. He's got the bird. He's all Beastmaster up in there, sending the hawk up into the sky. Assassin's Creed Origins is off his hook. So don't let any of the naysayers come in and it's not as good as Assassin's Creed 2, but Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was better than... Don't listen to any of them people. Assassin's Creed Origins is a neat product. I'm really into it. I had no business getting more games this weekend with my backlog, but screw it. It's a fantastic game. I'm glad I got it. Captain Retro just picked up a copy. He's enjoying it. The way I see it is those were must-pick-up games for this launch weekend. Could not be avoided. Would not be avoided. You could probably avoid Call of Duty this year if you have to. Only in the sense that so many other great products that are not just reskins of themselves have just come out. Gaming Rock 673 says he has just finished trick-or-treating for the last time. I can tell you that no, you have not. You will go again. Once you have kids, you gotta go. And then it's fun. Less and less people participating every year, but how much do I suck at this? Come on, Checkpoint Charlie, let's go. Let's go. Pick it up and let's go. Take it down to the flow. Pick it up and let's go. Dude. Oh, he might have saved my life right there. Dude, get off of me. Piece of shit. Cars, man. What is this, rush hour? Get it on the road, you turkey turd. Oh, look at him just coming out of nowhere. What was he going, 25 miles per hour? I didn't go that far to the left, dude. God, you can't feather this shit enough. And now I'm out because I'm going to lose time getting back to the road. Trident, if you're not getting new Call of Duty, it's not going to be nearly as entertaining without you. Because if you're not there, who's going to be there to go, mmm. 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 I was really hoping zombies would be good this year, and again, that just doesn't... I mean, the graphics actually do look really good, but they don't really look like Nazi zombies. But, you know, who cares what they look like? As long as they look like real zombies, I'm sure it'll still be fun. Thing is I'm not a zombies guy. I don't play much zombies. But, you know, the original Nazi zombies in World at War, that's what started that whole thing, so... It's gotta kind of be a nod to that, to be a true World War II game. People have always had beef with that kind of stuff being in video games, but I mean, it's like you're shooting them, so I mean, it's not like you're going on a picnic with them. Wolfenstein got in big trouble with that when it first came out. That was a very controversial game, and it's surprising that given all that, it was still able to be what it was and put first-person shooting on the map. But I'd like to think we're past all that now, and for authenticity's sake can really make things look, well, as they were back then. Again, I don't care. They could be in outer space with their butts hanging out. It doesn't matter, but it needs to look like whatever you're saying it is. Wow, is it the 1st of November in the Philippines already? That means it's Sam Hain. You know, that was one thing I did not do this Halloween. I wasn't listening to Sam Hain and Misfits all night. Of course, we usually do that when we go to other neighborhoods and we cruise around in the car. It was just me and Molly hoofing it this time. Alright, so one more race on this. This is addictive, and then we're going to switch to Rad Racer 2. Because we've got to know. We've got to know. What kept that from hitting the mark? Or did it hit the mark and it got judged unfairly? It's hard to say, because people weren't doing that crap back in our day. Nintendo Power came out, whatever that said was law. People would, discuss things on the school bus. There was no YouTubes. There were no comment sections of things. There were no blogs. There were not over-opinionated people on YouTube going, is it worth it? Is it overhyped? Is it overrated? We didn't have anything like that. We just had cold, hard facts to go with. Things are so much different now that before a person can even go purchase the game, or even before it's out, you've already got people on YouTube telling you, well, I didn't think the camera angles were very good on it, and I didn't like the characters, and I farted while I was playing it and my room stunk, and now I don't like the game. So, you can't listen to all that. Sometimes you just got to make your own call on it. I couldn't believe how many people were talking crap about Mario. Like, oh man, I beat it really fast. You did not, dude. You might have went through the story. You didn't get no 1,000 moons in 7 hours. You're lying, man. You're fucking lying. And, if you want to lie and say you had fun doing it, then fucking lie. But don't lie and say the game sucks because you done something you didn't do. We're all rooting for Nintendo here, so when they do give us what we want on those rare occasions, they need to be praised, not dogged, and not speculated. Just say it. It's a triumph. They did a great job. Love it. Hot stuff. We are joined by the Woodbarian Retro Game Hunter. Welcome, Woodbarian, to the stream. I think it's time for Rad Racer 2. And let's see how it measures up. Again, I've always had this game. And I've never played it. And again, I just had no idea that Square was behind Rad Racer. Did you? Music. Sing yourself. Well, okay, but I don't know how good it's going to be. I'm not warmed up. That's kind of strange. They need you to sing your own music? Rad Racer, it's what I want done. Rad Racer, it's gonna be so much fun riding down the road for a hot dog on a bun. Rad Racer, I'm in a red car. Rad Racer, I'm gonna go real far. It's what I want done. This feels a lot better, man. I don't feel like I'm glued to the road. I'm kind of just gliding over it. But I really feel like I have control. It's not so dadgum touchy. But from what I read, and again, you got to take Wikipedia and blog, dogs, all that stuff with a grain of salt. Again, most of these people, man, they weren't even around, man, when this was all there was to play. They don't know. It's hard for them to gauge. A lot of people, man, I was born in 1999, man, I'm a retro gamer. No, you're not. And I'm not saying that insolently. I'm saying it seriously and scientifically. It's hard for you to gauge what this is like, because this was not the standard when you yourself started gaming, if you're that age. if you come from a time when seeing something like this was like the second coming, like, oh my god, you know. I used to get down on some dadgum Adventure and Tutankhamun on the Atari 2600, but man, you go and play a game like Contra after that, and it's like, holy shit, man, how is it even this good? What amazing graphics, yada, yada, yada. And then when we got the 16-bit era come rushing in, and we're like, oh my god, we have arcade games at home now. So, I don't know, you kind of had to go through all that to, not necessarily to appreciate, but to really critique. But this isn't bad, man. This doesn't feel any... I mean, I know I look like I'm doing a terrible job, but it feels better. Yeah, Rad Racer, and I was talking about that at the beginning of the stream. I'm in no way pooping on Rad Racer here. I think OutRun is a higher scale product, but who sold more copies? And that really has more to do with who sold more systems. Obviously, everybody had a Nintendo, but they don't mean that I sing myself, do they? Is that really what that means? Because there's no music. I thought I was just joking when that happened, but then there wasn't music, so I figured I'd better keep going. And that was off the cuff, and I was a little bit nervous. But everybody had Rad Racer, man. You didn't know anybody that didn't have Rad Racer. You go to somebody's house, they got Rad Racer. There were games that just everybody had. I would expect to see Mega Man 2. I would expect to see Contra. I would expect to see Legend of Zelda. And what's funny is people are so genre-oriented now. I like this kind of game. I like that kind of game. People had all kind of genres of games. The best-selling games for NES or Sega spanned many different genres, and they were ones that, oh, well, everybody has that one, so you've got to have it. Again, everybody had Contra. Everybody had Rad Racer. Everybody had Skate or Die, you know? Games like that you just know. You go to your buddy's house, anybody's house. Hey, but now we're going to go to this. This is a buddy of mine. Let's go to this guy's house. All right, so you go with your buddy over to his buddy's house. And again, it's like, oh, what games has he got? He may have a few that your buddy didn't already have, but generally it's going to be the same stuff. But yeah, there's a different question on trial here, that why people felt that this was inferior to Rad Racer. Sure doesn't feel that way. I like this. Okay, damn. I mean, how much does he have to brake? Got to slow down to a stop just to turn. Come on now, I was just bragging on you for handling. Don't make a liar out of me. Excuse you. Well, that was not a bad run. Why does it say music? They really meant it. They meant sing yourself. That's awesome. Let's get on the Gumball Crash. Nice poppy little drum beat. Now, one thing I've never done is play Rad Racer with the Power Glove. And I know that's not going to help if I do. I'll be honest, since I've had my Power Glove, I haven't used it. It's more or less just the comfort of knowing it's there. Alright, we got some driving music now. It's time. It's gonna be different. This summer, it's gonna be different. I'm gonna work out, come back, kick everybody's ass. I'm gonna work out, come back and kick everyone's ass. Oh, that was a pretty good run. Oh, you frickin' turd sandwich. Oh, you bastard. Nice poppy little tune here we're driving to. I'm liking it. Not as good as my song, but we'll take it. Do 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 ski diddy ba doo ski ba ski ba doo. Oh, you bastard! Yeah. You turd. I mean, I guess the jury can be out on this game, but inferior it just isn't. I mean, this is pretty good. In fact, if this had been Rad Racer 1, you'd have had a much more solid argument. Look at that shit, I made it. Much more solid argument for this is better than OutRun, but OutRun still would have the better graphics. Sweet! Coast to Coast would not be appropriate. But since it's a song we haven't heard yet, let's do it. Oh, I like that night stage. This would be a good one after a night of drinking. If you're just joining us on Twitch... No, I'm just kidding. Nobody's watching us on Twitch. If you're listening to the crickets chirp on Twitch, I don't know why that is, though. It's really hard to get seen on Twitch playing vintage games. I don't know why that is. All the games are on there, too. I mean, you could find them categorically speaking. It's all there. Oh, man, we were so close. Alright, well, let's get back to business. Rad Racer 1. Because I straight embarrassed myself on that. Wood says I should join Tight White's Xbox Club. You're probably right. I probably should. Oh, it started Rad Racer 2 again. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Yeah, y'all shoot me an invite. I'll give you a hint. My name on there is MC Murr. Alright. So it's kind of cool that they both use Ferraris, but they use different ones. Like this was the 328 or whatever, or 300 and something. I don't know. I've seen the... I looked at both cars on eBay to see what they were running. And obviously the OutRun car is a 1985 Testarossa. Beautiful fucking car. There's one not far from here somebody's selling for like $90,000. I'd have to live in it if I paid that much for it, but it's cool that somebody's got it and that it's still bright apple red. Cool looking damn car. Can you imagine rolling down the road in a 1985 Ferrari listening to Magical Sound Shower from OutRun? Yeah, everybody had RBI baseball. Everybody had double dribble. Jason's bringing up games everybody had. And Tecmo Bowl was pretty common. Everybody had Top Gun. Everybody had Top Gun. Top Sweat. Can I get back on the road? That'd be great. No! God, dude, you cannot... It doesn't matter how much you brake. You can't get the car back on the fucking road. This does not handle anywhere near as good as the sequel. So I don't know why anybody would claim that that game was inferior to this one. If anything, it's a vast improvement on the handling. It's like this car needs new tires or something. And then you turn into a pinball if you touch a car, which I'm sure in real life that's probably what would happen, but there's no just bumping and cutting away trying to pass. If you hit something, you're in trouble. And all too often, you got people in all three lanes. So what the hell do you do with that? It's a lose-lose. Yet I'm seeing through different playthroughs here that you luck out at certain points where you need very much to not have that going on, and then you don't. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a little bit of luck involved. Not saying OutRun doesn't have some of the same stuff going on. It's not like the cars are preset and they're automatically going to be there. That was ball game, by the way. I could not afford that crash. We will now no longer have enough time to get to the end. That was ridiculous. The road just... It's like, you can't win the game if you're not going to go that fast. But if you're going to go that fast, you're going to fucking wreck. And no, I do not have my 3D glasses on. But I would very much like to have a pair. God, we're just not going to get down this coastline, are we? I didn't hit you, you piece of shit! I was coming up behind the other guy. And it slides me, and I hit the guy next to me. Sir slides a lot. I mean, just in that aspect, this isn't better than OutRun. You'll have some moments in OutRun where it's like, oh god, the road moved, but that was ridiculous right there. What are you, a magnet? Get the fuck off of me. Oh, where'd the road go? It was here a second ago. So we were joined by Captain Retro and Chasing the Classics. I hope you were watching Chasing the Classics live stream last night, because if you were able to watch a little bit of Metal Warriors action. And as we came to the epiphany that you could actually change mechs, I think that opened up a whole new world there. And it was past my bedtime, but hopefully, B-Rad, you went on to do some amazing things on that game later on that night. I'll have to watch the recap and see. But you got me wanting to play it again. I definitely never beat Metal Warriors. There were some very tough stages later on in that. It's such an interesting concept, because here's a game where you have no lives, you have no power meter. It's up to you to judge by looking at your mech what condition it's in. And you got to really learn to conserve what mechs are in the stage. You see one, but it may not be time to change to it. It may be better to finish most of the level in the one you're in, and when it starts smoking, go back past, the area you've cleared and get the fresh mech and then come back out. You really have to strategize. Tough game. That didn't hit me. Yeah, it's cool, man. And I had no idea it was going to end up being worth what it was worth when I bought it. I bought it because I had rented it, and I said, man, I like this. I got to have a copy of this for myself. Bought that at an old Microplay store. The same store that Jason Joseph threw Copenhagen out on their carpet and kicked it into the rug when they skunked him on a trade deal with a bad value. And you know that stain didn't come out. So Jason asked, top 3 racing games. It's hard not to put Rad Racer in there because of what it meant to its respective console. When you think NES racing, the first game you think of is Rad Racer. I'm going to instantly put in OutRun, but I'm biased in doing so because I'm a Sega fan. But because of OutRun's presence in the arcade, it's a little bit easier to make a good case for that. But pole position to Atari, OutRun to Sega, Rad Racer to NES, it's hard not to just go ahead and say that that's your top 3. And God knows there's been others. Off-Road was off the hook, man. Super Off-Road, Ivan Super Dude Stewart, whatever the hell his name was, I don't know it. But, man, I used to get so ripped and play Off-Road. What a fun game. Even though it was more like, it was less racing and more like, almost like RC Pro-Am. And damn if I didn't just say another one, RC Pro-Am. A lot of people think that, but since that's RC cars, I'm not going to put that in the exact same category with a game like this. But, yeah, if I have to name them, I guess it's Pole Position, and it's OutRun, and it's Rad Racer. Mainly because of what they mean to their respective consoles and to what they mean to the genre in general. Not that a racing game has to be put on the map, because obviously anything would want to have racing as a game as much as they'd want to have sports, but those were the big 3. You did not go in a Showbiz Pizza or a Chuck E. Cheese without playing Pole Position. You just didn't. See, nothing hit me, and the road just moved. I didn't. Jason has also just reminded me of the time reduction by repeatedly pausing the whole way back. I forgot that was a thing. Okay, I wasn't anywhere near those guys. Chasing the classics is Mazio's Pizza. Mazio's was the shit, man. And we have one out here by us, and it used to have the damn games in it. God almighty. And I was able to take Molly in there one time and sit at the Pac-Man Galaga table or whatever the hell, and we ate on that, played games, and it was awesome. But, time went by a couple years later, and we're like, you know what? We're out in this neck of the woods. You want to go to Mazio's? And she's like, yeah, let's go to Mazio's. Like, yeah, we can play Pac-Man and eat pizza. Great. Daddy-daughter day. Great. Go in there, and the damn table's gone. And the place looked like an absolute shithole. I was like, what the hell? I said, where's the machine? Oh, they took it out. I said, why? I don't know. You don't know? You know how much that table's worth? More than anything else you got in this roach-infested shithole. So nobody could tell me what happened to the game. The game was gone. And our local Mazio's is now officially not worth a shit. Captain Retro brings up Need for Speed The Run is his favorite current gen or last gen, current gen, new gen racer. The run was pretty neat. What little of it I played. I am not a Need for Speed guy. I just never have been. And that's not putting the franchises down at all. Obviously, I think it's run its course as of a long time ago. But as an arcade racer without extreme amounts of customization being necessary to enjoy the game, it certainly delivers that. And the run actually had a bit of a backstory you could enjoy, which is uncommon in those kinds of games. So it was neat. But yeah, I don't know what happened, man. We've lost our way with pizza places not having the games in them anymore. There used to be a Mario and a versus Duck Hunt machine in the damn Pizza Hut up in Snellville where we grew up. I remember playing it in their foyer. And then I remember when it wasn't there anymore. They also had a Russian attack machine. Fucking Russian attack coin op. My dad would get so irritated when I would want to put quarters in them and play. Because we'd be going to sit down and eat, and I'm like, no, you all go sit down. I'm going to play. Like, no, we're going to eat. No, I'm going to play Russian attack. Come on, checkpoint! Come on! Come on! Come on! Damn, man. And now, well, while we're talking here, how many courses are in this game? Again, I was a Sega guy, so I'm not going to pretend like I know all about this game. I can't even get off course 1. How many courses were there? Let's put it in perspective. How bad do I suck at this? Pretty bad, I know, but no! Breaking down to 0 to make a turn. You can suck my dick. No, dude, I'm breaking. I'm breaking. That didn't hit me! It didn't hit me, yeah. Yeah, that was really a thing when people used to line up for games. And I know that continued well into the Street Fighter Mortal Kombat era for obvious reasons. But people were, tournamenting and fighting each other and placing bets and all that. But man, I always talk about the time we got to the mall at one time and there was like a 2-hour wait for Double Dragon, man. It was like a line stretched out of the arcade. There was a line like people were waiting to get in the arcade, but they weren't. They were just lined up going all the way up to the Double Dragon machine in there. That was dick, and I probably hit that sign going 10 miles per fucking hour. I wouldn't have fucking flipped the car. Fucking ass cheese. Oh, look, 3 cars. Boajawi. Sniff my scrote. Ew, shit, boy. Video games and pizza just go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly. Or like a wet fart and a waddle walk to the bathroom. It's like I get on the good foot every so often on this first run to the first checkpoint, and then it just goes to pot. See, what was that? I bounced off of that thing like rubber. And that's it. Checka. Oh, I thought we were going dark there for a second. Lost power. Okay, we're back. You sent off a snipper clips to be graded. What variant says I should trust him and not drive as hard? By that, do you mean not as much turbo? Am I really overdoing that? Should I just hit the cruising speed and turbo through the straightaways? Where am I missing it? We'll do one more run here. Well, they pushed me through. Is it my imagination, or has the music not always been playing? I don't know why anybody would grade a game if it wasn't something valuable that could be resold. I think we're going to scrap this playthrough and start again. We are joined by Lucky Collector. Welcome, Lucky, to our stream. You'll at least catch the tail end of some Rad Racer action here. Captain, I had the same problem. Captain says that it's been so long since he played the Switch, he never noticed it got unplugged, and now it's dead as balls. I had the same problem. I plugged mine back in. I said, well, as long as it's plugged in, it'll work, right? No. It's like a damn iPhone, man. It's got to, charge for a while before it's going to talk to you. Yeah, I had the exact same problem. I was like, shit! I want to play this I'm on the ready. I'm on the right now on this bad boys. Are you kidding me right now with that? I just suck. I'll go hard or go home now. What is? Well, there's a few things we can take from this. One, I suck at Rad Racer. Two, if Rad Racer 2 really was underrated, it shouldn't be, because it's not a bad game at all. But three, I have to stand by my man on this one. OutRun, definitely the better game. For the reason that there's stage selects, music selects, and just overall better graphics. An arcade presence, which may or may not have been in this game's fault, although this was apparently released as a direct competitor for a little red car game. And the fact that OutRun had such a long lineage after the fact, even despite the fact that Sega was not the big name brand. So interesting stuff. And this is not the last Sega Did It Better stream that we're going to have. I can't tell you what two games are going to square off next, but you can bet that two games are going to square off next. Sega versus Nintendo in the Sega Did It Better series. And again, you could say that, but you can say that Sega's going to win every time. I'm suggesting that they will. It doesn't mean they will. Nintendo can feel free to change my mind. Because some of these games I think Sega did better, I haven't really spent time on their Nintendo counterparts. Much less time than I've even spent on a game like Rad Racer that everybody had and that you played. So I've got a thing or two to learn myself on some of these other games. This is just a hypothesis at this point. But for now, Sega is in the lead, 1-0. At least as far as I'm concerned, and anybody that watches the recap that thinks differently, please comment below. I love to get a conversation going with you. So besides the fact of just asking you, hey, do you like OutRun? Did you have OutRun? Did you ever play OutRun? Did you ever beat OutRun? How many courses were in OutRun? Did you play all the courses in OutRun? Did your friend have OutRun? Did you go to your friend's house to play OutRun? Did your friend enjoy when you came to his house to play OutRun? Did your friend enjoy when you come over and had lunch with him? Then you played, after you had lunch with your friend, did you actually stay for dinner and actually play all night and then spend the night at your friend's house so you can continue to play Rad Racer all throughout the nights that your friend had Rad Racer? Did he even have OutRun or Rad Racer? Did he have both games that you ordered to play Sega? Did you go to the Nintendo? Did your friends, did he actually have an Atari? Did he have all three consoles? Did you go there to play pole position? Did he actually say, oh, I can get better than that? It's called Rad Racer. We play Rad Racer. There's so many things we could discuss when it comes down to that. But we want to discuss what you think wins in the matchups and why that is. Because they bring different things to the table, even though they're being very similar products. And that's the purpose of this whole thing. Just a thought I had, just squeezing out of the old brain. So, for everybody that's watching, I hope that you will leave a like. For everybody that watches the recap, I hope that you will leave a like, and I hope that if you are not already, you will be subscribed to this channel so that you can watch the rest of these thrilling comparisons as we go through them, as well as unboxing, as well as yard sale findings and scavenging, as well as day one unboxings and pre-order picking ups and day one reviews and all that other great stuff that we do right here on the MC Mer Show, bringing you only the best each and every time, whenever possible. That is all the time that we have for tonight. And honestly, I didn't think we'd have a big showing tonight. Figured everybody'd be busy with Halloween. But glad everybody showed up, had a great time. And I will see each and every one of you again next time.